can't have fun. That was practice a lot.
Hi guys. Do we have a moderator, or I just rule the room? I rule the room? I'm the boss? This could be dangerous. Everyone needs to sing Twilight Licious right now. Ready? I'm the T to the W-I-L-N-U-T. And ain't no one come control it down like me. I'm Twilight Licious.
Called it!
It's my son's birthday today. Stand up. Stand up. That's Aiden. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday. Well, actually, my favorite thing to do at a panel is get questions, and I know we never have enough time. So maybe if you guys want to start a lineup in the middle if you have a question. Or should I just point to people? What's easier?
Just point.
Point? Okay, I'll point. Go.
Go.
Seeing as you have such an expansive career of different voices and different talents, did you ever, when you first started, did you ever see yourself getting so big in the voice acting industry?
Not really, because when I first started, I always knew that I wanted to be an actress and a singer, and Hello Kitty, which was my first animated series, was like another audition for me, and I didn't know that that would be my main focus, and I've just been so lucky. Like, all of the things that I've booked have been such iconic characters, so it's just been my path, and I didn't know that it was going to be like that, but I'm certainly very grateful. You?
Me? Yes. Okay. I have two favorite characters from yours, Harley Quinn and Timmy Turner. I was wondering if you do your favorite lines from both of those characters.
Oh, let me see. My favorite line from Timmy Turner. Cool, I wish I could wish Aiden Strong a happy birthday. And whenever I got into character for Harley, I'd say, you'd think after living with Mr. J all this time I'd be used to a little pain.
My question is, if you could choose to have any cutie mark you wanted, not the one Twilight has, which one would it be and why?
Well, I have a cutie mark. But there are people in the room that know this. You must not be on my Twitter. It's a heart with a microphone on it.
Oh, I feel stupid.
That's okay, and she's really cute. Okay, somewhere in the back. In the pink hat. If you shout really loud.
What's your favorite breakfast cereal?
Aiden, what's my favorite breakfast cereal?
Okay, let's call him.
If I could eat whatever I want, no, I care, it would probably be Cookie Crisp. Yes. But generally I eat something healthy and boring like kashi goleen or something. I can just see the meme now with Tara in a bowl of kashi goleen. Red shirt.
What are you able to tell us about the upcoming special for Powerpuff Girls?
I will say that the animation surprised me because it's slightly different, but it was so much fun to get back in the room with the girls and all the original cast, and I think it's really, really cute, and when I saw it I was surprised because I was like, this looks good, and I can tell you that if the fans love it, they will do a series, so everybody love it. Because Mama says, just as tough as Blossom and Buttercup, she's hardcore.
Do you think it's a good idea for Princess Celestia to nominate someone as neurotic as Twilight for political office?
What's you looking at? Where are you going with that?
Oh, nowhere. Lesson 0!
I don't know what you're talking about. Just because she gets tardy! Next question! You in the middle with your head on the black t-shirt. Go.
Hey, this one be for suggestion because of all the times where Harley had to deal with the Joker, might I suggest somebody else for her to be with Harley? Deadpool.
She's into poison ivy.
Maybe a popular choice. Next. It's Spike.
Seeing as you
Stand
played
up. Show everybody your Spike.
seeing as you played both Batgirl and Harley Quinn, did you find it difficult to move between the hero and the villain roles? Especially
You
in the
think
same
you
universe?
have identity crises. It's not really difficult because just as any character, after I create them, they live in my head, and when it's time to play, they come down, and they're totally separate entities. But it was a huge thrill to walk into Harley's shoes because, as you know, years ago I played Batgirl alongside of Arlene Sorkin with Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy, and I think it's just such an honor to be part of that legacy anyway, but it's not challenging, it's just so cool.
Very nice.
Thank you. You. Yes.
What are you going to be doing after, like, since you're already finished with back Justice League, what are you going to be doing next?
Well, right now I'm still working on Fairly Odd Parents and Ben 10, the Omniverse series, and what else am I doing? I work every single day, but if you ask me, I'm like, pretty much every other day I have to, in my little home studio, say, coming up next on the Batgirls Club. But you didn't know that, did you? Did you guys get the Batgirls Club up here? It's a really hilarious show where girls are just on TV to look bad. There's no prize. They just want to be like the worst behaved woman. Okay. Yeah.
Who would win in the battle? Twilight Sparkle or Raven from Teen Titans?
Hey, who would win in a battle, Raven or Twilight Sparkle? Come on, birthday boy. Happy birthday to you. Raven. We'll go with Raven. Yellow. Brim. That's you. You have yellow on your brim. Yeah.
Please tell us the story of like the worst, most uncomfortable voice acting experience you've ever had.
There have been a few. One was there was a little girl in the studio with us. I hope she hasn't found the internet and sees me telling the story. And she had to go to the bathroom, and she didn't know that you could leave. And so in the middle of recording, everyone's got some lines, and she just interrupts and goes, I'm doing it. And everyone looked over where she was. She was peeing on the floor. Where they really could go in the bathroom, just over there. But that's probably the worst. I did have someone throw up in a studio once, too. It was kind of gross. Yes?
If you could act with anyone in the world, who would it be?
That's a tough one. I've already had such a... Okay, Aiden. I'll work with Aiden. Aiden and Carol. That's my cousin Carol. She got no legs and she still came to see me. That's her looking at me. I need a movie with all them things. Yes.
From your Final Fantasy, do you find that there's going to be anything more with you in video games like that?
There could be.
What would you think if, like, one of your younger viewers, like, got that My Little Pony, find out that you voiced Clara from Drawn Together?
What are you talking about? I don't know. I let my kids see Family Guy, but that's where I draw the line. They haven't seen Drawn Together, but one day they will. He's telling me that sometimes he watches South Park. You're in big trouble. I don't know what to say. They're both like so important to me as an actress because they're so fun and there's such a difference. I remember one time my mother-in-law came to visit and I took her to a taping of the Rugrats and then I took her to a table read for Drawn Together and I said, just so you know, this isn't the Rugrats. I hope that that they wait till they're older to see Drawn Together and then I won't have to say anything. Yes, you.
So you said that when you create a character, it lives inside your brain.
You don't want to be in there. Crazy, crazy place.
To what extent do they become a part of your psyche? Do they slip out in everyday life? Or
Yes.
is that not really going to happen? So?
Yes. You should go shopping with us. I always have a cuckoo voice coming up, but sometimes it's easy to get things you want that way. Like, it's always nice to go, can I please have the money that I want back? Then give me my money, right? I just use it. And whenever I'm with my British friends, I'm British. When I'm with my black friends, I'm a sister. I mean, I can't explain it. It drives my kids crazy. Like, Mom, stop with the Indian voice. I'm like, I thought this is my friend, and I can't. I have no control. Straight. Yes. Yeah, sure, why not?
You're Canadian. How did you get started in Hollywood? Did you have a role that they invited you to go down for?
They don't really send invitation cards. Hey, here's Hollywood. Come visit us. No, I knew when I was 5 years old that I wanted to be an actress, and because there's so many amazing, wonderful opportunities for Canadian actors here, I'm sure there are a few in this audience, and take those opportunities. There's tons of production, American production, that happens in Canada. So after I sort of felt like I did everything I could do here, I moved on. I always, this is going to sound silly, but I always wanted to be in a movie of the week. And so like when I got to do Sabrina, I was like, okay, that's cool. And then a Disney movie, and I got to play her daughter in The Mermaid, and I was like, okay, I could die tomorrow, that's fine. So it was just more for different opportunities, but having the extensive resume that I had in Canada was very helpful when I got to Los Angeles, because I just wasn't someone saying, hey, I want to be an actress. I already had a really wonderful resume that I built in Canada, which I think is such a great place to start, because there's really no one like Canadians. They're just such warm, lovely, amazing. We have friends that live in LA, and Danny and Carol come to visit us, and my husband's a New Yorker. And she said, it's so funny, whenever your relatives come, they're always so sweet. And I'm like, that's Canadians for you. The New York Jews, not so sweet. The Canadians, so they're just good peeps. I'm very grateful to have started here. Yes, you?
Can you talk as Harley Quinn and tell us how she really feels about the Joker?
He's my button. He could go a little easier on me sometimes, sweetie. But I love him.
Hi. I know you did a small role in Sailor Moon, and I know you don't remember who you did. And,
See, they know. She already knows. You didn't even have to ask me the question because you already know my answer.
Yeah, but the thing is, I was wondering if you could ask your agent. Would they know who you did?
I could try.
And then you can put it on your site when you know.
When I know, I'll get back to you on that.
Okay.
Yes, Bubbles? Show your Octi to everybody. Look at the Octi she made.
Weird question, but if you could have dinner with any one of the voices in your head, who would you pick?
That's a good question. Well, if I ate with Raven, I get waffles. But if I ate with Timmy Turner, I could just wish for whatever I wanted. So if something wasn't good, I could just wish for something else. I guess I'd say Timmy. Although he'd be kind of weird to talk to. I don't know. Harley would be fun to watch. Stop making me choose! Because my favorite children! Yes. Maybe? Did you like Equestria Girls? No. You might be the only one in the room. Did anyone else in the room like Equestria Girls? Sorry, I was wrong. Yes? I really love The Royal Wedding. And I really love Equestria Girls. And I really love Lesson Zero. Those are like my top 3. You?
So, who's your favorite character to voice out of all?
Again?
We gotta know more than once.
Well, I always said that my favorite job I ever got to do was Melody in The Mermaid, because I fangirled out to Jodie Benson. So to get to play her daughter and look at her when I was singing was completely surreal. Like, I actually started to cry when I met her. What?
Sing something.
Oh. For a moment, all of me is alive and at home in the sea. I'm swirling and twirling, so graceful and grand, not stubbing my toes, getting stuck in the sand. For a moment, I can feel all the dreams I've been dreaming are real. Wish my mother could hear it, the sea is my song. For a moment, just a moment, I belong. Yes, Fluttershy?
Flufflepuff and Chrysalis still live in Twilight's library?
That person with the black
That joke.
thing on their hand, yeah. Okay.
Advice can you give to a aspiring actor?
Don't steal my jobs? I get asked that question at every panel, and I always say that it's really important to take as many acting classes as you can. Scene study, especially improv. Improv classes are fun no matter what your profession, and they just help you open up. And because a lot of times you'll be in the studio and they'll say, "Can you give us, a cheerleader or someone from Texas or a little boy or whatever?" And you just have to be kind of organic and free to play, and that kind of opens you up to that. And then if you do have a local place that teaches great voiceover, you can do that and get some studio time and feel what that feels like. And we have a course online called VoiceStars with Z.com, and that kind of teaches you everything about the business. And then when you feel really ready, you make a demo tape, and then you submit it to your top, local agents. You can always check the local union office to see who they recommend, and then submit it. But don't do your tape until you're really ready, because they're like $1,000 or I've seen like $2,000 for a demo. I mean, they shouldn't be that much, I think, but they can be. So just make sure you're really ready. Yes, you.
How old is Twilight Sparkle, and how do pony ears translate to human ears?
She left already. Did you see her dancing around? I guess I don't know what they say in the show. In my head, she's a teenager. When I play her, I feel like she's 15, something like that. I don't know how pony ears. Just stop asking those questions. Thank you.
I've noticed a lot of voice actors, they seem to have this wide range of different voices that they can do. To try to go into that type of field, is there kind of like a standard number, like, should you have...
You must have 47 voices. No, there's not really a standard, but certainly the people that are more versatile work more, because they pay you a scale rate, which is like a set rate from the union, for up to 3 characters. So certainly a director is going to hire one person that can give them 3 over someone that can only do 1 voice. So there is no real number, but the more you can do, the better. For sure. Yes, you?
Yeah. What can you tell us about season 4 of My Little Pony Precious Magic?
It's very cute. You right there. Yes.
Actually, this one would be to ask, ever since when you played as Riku in Final Fantasy X-2, are you familiar that when you said the line monkey, that became a big internet meme thanks to this pony experiment?
No. The internet scares me. What's that? Okay.
Well, I have a request. Do improvisation of Twilight Sparkle at the drive-thru.
We did that once, remember? We did Twilight Sparkle at the drive-thru. I think I had no idea. I wanted my toy. Because we don't eat McDonald's, but they had really cool toys, and we went to the drive-thru like, "Hi, this is Twilight Sparkle. I like my toy." And the guy's like, "Oh, what?" I was like, "Don't you know who Twilight Sparkle is?" "No." Well, I wouldn't have any needs because I'm a vegetarian. I think she'd just like to go in for her toy. Probably. That'd be it. Yes? You?
Do you ever, accidentally use the wrong voice when you're doing voice acting? Never happened?
No. The only time that we could get confused is when you do an audition, sometimes you give them a few different choices and then you don't know what they picked. But on the first day of the session, they'll play which one they picked. And then once it's established, you just don't confuse them. Can't explain why. Yes.
Can you explain the process you go through when you have to act by yourself? And could Rob Paulson get more of the My Little Pony cast on his Talking Tunes podcast?
It's a little challenging because everyone else is in Vancouver and Rob and I are in LA. So that's probably why that hasn't happened yet. And he likes to come over and be very, one-on-one with you. So maybe if he does a con in Vancouver or something like that, I can certainly suggest it to him. What was the other question?
How do you approach acting by yourself? Since you do so much great ensemble work, for French with Magic, you have to record by yourself.
Oh, yeah. I mean, of course, it's better to play off the other actors, because if someone says something, you can either mock them or respond to them. But, or say nicer acting. But, because I can't, it's a little more challenging, but for me, whenever I'm doing a character, I really imagine all the moments in my head, which is why, like, in the Rugrats tapings, my scripts were always soaking wet, because the lines would be like, baby diddle sucks his thumb, grabs a toy, and throws up. So I'd be like, my script would be disgusting. So you kind of get into the character, and then those moments sort of happen organically. Yes?
What was it like getting to work with Lauren Fowles, John Delancey, and the rest of the crew for the BronyCon documentary?
That was really special. You know, Lauren and I have been friends since Powerpuff Girls. And John, I met at a convention like this one, and he didn't know what a brony was. And I had a brony panel. And I just introduced myself because I had been a fan of his. And he's like, oh, you're Tara Strong. I was like, hey, how did he know me? He's like, tell me about the bronies. And so I explained to him a little bit about the fandom, and I said, you should come to my panel. He's like, oh, no. I'm like, yeah, you should come. Surprise him. So it was about a little bit bigger than this room, and he was hiding in the back, and someone asked a Discord question. And I said, wow, that's interesting, because he might be here. And he walked up, and the crowd went nuts. And then he was on stage like, oh, these are the bronies. And I think because he had seen so much negative feedback about them, that it was his idea to honor that fandom in a true light of what they really are. And when he suggested it to me, of course I was like, of course I'll do that. And Lauren, of course, was thrilled to be a part of that too. And, you know, filming it was fun, and just getting the reaction from the fans. Did you see the documentary? It was just such a beautiful experience, and I loved surprising the Army Bronies. I love my Army Bronies. For those of you who hadn't seen the film, there was supposed to be a lunch with like a handful of Army Bronies, and I was surprising them with my slap bracelets, and there were 60. So the moment was really special when I walked in, and they were just, oh my gosh, they're all so cute.
Alright, because you have such a history with working on projects that Lauren Fowles and Craig McCracken have made, like Foster's, Powerpuff Girls, and now Friends with Magic, is it possible that you think you'll be able to voice on Craig's newest creation, Wander Over Yonder?
It's quite possible.
Would you like a Pop-Tart?
No, thank you. Aiden, would you like a Pop-Tart? Yeah? Yeah, birthday boy wants a Pop-Tart. What do you say?
No problem.
Thank you. Yeah?
Was there backlash from Disney when you took the part of Clara at all, which is a parody of the whole Disney princess thing?
No, I never heard anything. I think they're pretty good about knowing that actors are going to branch off and do what they got to do. They don't just feel particular about anything on camera that's inappropriate, which I would do, which I've been asked to do. You know, somebody's like, well, it's just a little bit of nudity or something like that. You know, I can't really have my fans downloading weird images, so they make them anyway. Oh, I've seen it, okay? I'm sure one of you did some of those. Yeah.
What's your favorite line you ever said in any show?
My favorite line I've ever said in any show. I don't think anyone's ever asked me that before. Gosh. I have to think about that. I'd just be lying if I told you one right now. You know, I really loved singing the Wish Every Day Could Be Christmas song from Fairly Odd Parents. Woo! Wish every day could be Christmas. That was kind of fun. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know. I did everything that Bubbles said too. You know, when she was talking to squirrels or singing. There was one scene where it was like she's talking to squirrels and I was going like this. And Tom Kenny looked at me, he's like, is this how you talk to squirrels? I was like, I have no idea why I was like that. But I guess hardcore. Or when she's touching me, like, yo. That was kind of funny. You?
Out of many characters you voice, which one would you say you can relate yourself most to?
You know, there's a little of me in everything that I do.
Harley?
No, I'm not really like Harley. I'd say I've got a lot of Twilight in me, and Bubbles, and even Batgirl. I'm sort of like a mix of those. Not really a 10-year-old boy, but... okay, way in the back. Yeah. Oh, say that again? There's a lot of them, and I will say if the engineer from the Powerpuff Girls ever wants to get rich, he could sell them because they're naughty.
If all of your characters were in a burning building, which one would you rescue?
If anyone else asks me to pick which is my favorite child, you're gonna get hurt. Just saying. Harley's coming out. Yeah.
So, you're involved with the new Shaolin Showdown reboot that's coming up, right? Did you have any trouble with getting back into old roles that's been a long time ago?
I can still do Hello Kitty.
Do it.
I was 13.
Hello Kitty's Fairy Tale Theater is proud to present The Wizard of Oz.
Golden Company. Let's go. Shouting Shoda. I told you they live up there. Just come down to play. I'm crazy like that.
Yay.
Yay.
I actually know you mostly from your voice work in video games when you were Juliet in Lollipop Chainsaw. So, my question is it different working in video games than it is working for cartoons?
Yes, because we work alone always in video games. There's never where we get to play off each other, because typically there's so many lines in a video game that it would just not be time well managed if you have to wait for everyone. There can be thousands of lines in a video game. So, and it can also be a lot more vocally straining, because the sessions are broken down into 4 hours. Sometimes they go quicker, but never more than 4 hours. So if it's just you talking for 4 hours, even if you're not doing 100 death screams, yeah, it's gonna be taxing. Death scenes are not easy. Can we get 10 more? Or no, you cannot.
Is there anything you can tell us about your character in the upcoming Jay and Silent Bob animated movie?
Not with children in the room. Did you guys get the movie yet? Oh, it's out in LA already. I got an email from Kevin Smith saying, "Hey, you want to do my movie?" So I said yes, and it was crazy fun. And if you haven't seen it yet, it's not what you'd expect from my character. I'll tell you that. And there's bad words, so don't bring your children.
Oh, that's okay. I didn't pick you. No, I picked Sorry Girl. Stand up.
Sorry. Stand up, sorry. Sorry. There you go.
What is the most randomest thing you've ever done in the booth or at home?
Most randomest thing I've done in the booth. I just thought of something that I won't tell you. Yeah, me and Pamela Siegel-Adlon, you know her? Yeah? Californication and Bobby from King of the Hill. Yeah, we did some cuckoo stuff. Okay. Oh, are you waiting for me to tell you what it is? Oh. No? Okay.
Wait, the person who thought it was his turn. Yeah.
What do you enjoy the most about Twilight Sparkle?
I guess that she's cool even though she's an egghead. And she's really real, and so many people tell me that they relate to her. And I think the fandom has been the biggest reward to her. I mean, I hear people telling me thank you every single day. And it's just so nice that show's created a community for people that felt alone before. So I'm just very proud to be a part of that. Yes.
Yes?
Because you can sing so well, why did the Twilight have singing for her? Is it hard to sing? Singers sing 10 songs in LA?
It's just that because I'm too far away, and Daniel Ingram is such an amazing amazing composer, and he's so particular about how he likes it that I have to fly back and forth, and I just can't leave my babies. They like me. Yeah, that's it. No. Okay, no. Yes.
Who do you like better, Diamond Tiara or Silver Spoon?
Neither. Yes. Whatever that white thing you're holding up is. You're holding something in your hand. Yeah, you are. Yeah. No, the white one. Yeah, you. Yeah. What the heck is that? It's a water bottle.
Alright, you ever use your voice acting to pull out like practical jokes on friends, family, or telemarketers?
In fact, Aiden, have I ever used my voice on telemarketers? He's actually started joining in on the fun. Whenever people go, hi, is Mrs. Strong there? Hello? Hi, we're wondering if you're interested. Hello? You got the lollipop, lollipops. And I just keep going until they hang up. Yes, you. Season 4 is finished. Yes. Yes, I think so. I think in terms of what I have to do. But how long does it take me to do a show? Like by myself? Well, I get booked for 4 hours and I can usually knock out sometimes between 3 and 7 episodes. Yeah, I've done a lot. I'm that good. I'm the T to the W-I-L-I-G-H-T, and ain't no other pony troll it down like me. I'm Twilightlicious. Oh, did you remember your question? Okay.
What was your reaction when you first met the Bronies and you first heard about Bronies?
When I first met them, I think I got really introduced on Twitter. And then when I met them at a con, I was like blown away because it's the most colorful fandom I've ever seen. And I don't know, I can't describe why, but it was love at first sight. Like, I get really upset when anyone makes fun of them because I think they're like the most adorable fans ever. And if you follow me on Twitter, you'd know that they helped me raise over $100,000 for a little girl with a brain tumor. My first reaction is probably the same as it is. I just love them so much. They're just adorable.
I'm not sure if you actually had the chance, but did you work with John Delancey? And if you did, what was it like?
We did not work on the show together, no. Just on the documentary, and he's a doll. I adore him. More than friends, yes?
What's your opinion on the Spite-verse version of Twilight?
On the what first version?
The Spite-verse.
Spite-verse.
Oh, I don't think anyone... No one here knows what the Spite-verse is, really? I know.
No.
Oh, GG.
It's what?
It's basically where everything's opposite.
Is that an internet thing?
Yes, it's an
That
internet.
scares me.
I know you tweet a few crazy things every now and then.
Really?
Have you ever tweeted anything you regret?
Oh. Have I ever tweeted anything I regret? I don't think so. Like, if I did something that I thought, oh, maybe that wasn't worded right and could have hurt someone's feelings, maybe, but not really. I try really hard to just be really lighthearted and fun. And people say, like, you brighten my day, you make me smile, and I'm like, okay, then that's a job well done. I like making people laugh. If I can make people laugh and go, oh, no, she didn't, at the end of the day, then I'm happy. Is there anything you think I should have not have tweeted? Okay, good. Okay, good. Yes?
Hi, my friend, I wonder if you could do any of the Twilight Sparkle stuff.
Okay.
You of course do her music in the show. And I also have a piece for you.
Okay, give it to me. I like presents. What is it? Is it a diamond?
It's like basic jewelry. I made it.
You made it?
So, it's
Again with the choosing? You made these?
Yes.
Wow, that's my birthstone. Can I have that one?
Yes.
Thank you, and it's very Twilight-licious.
Can you try to make Timmy use Raven to beat up Piggy? And the second one, what would having your goals try to take over the world?
The world would be awesome! I don't understand your other question.
You want Timmy to use Raven?
Yeah, to get rid of Vicky.
Oh. Cool, I wish Raven would kick Vicky's butt.
Metreon Zinthos! Bye, Vicky.
What was your reaction when you first saw the script for Drawn Together?
Okay, the truth is, about a year before I had the audition for Drawn Together, I pitched a show about an animated group of people living together like the real world. And I think it was my husband that said that was a dumb idea. And then when I saw the script, I was like, oh my god, I love these people already. And in the first audition, they wanted me to improvise a song for Clara, and for whatever reason, I made up a song about her being in love with her pet turtle. I don't understand it, and I don't remember it, sorry. But I instantly loved it so much. And they had cast me as Clara and Toot, and they still didn't have their Foxy Love. And I did my first animated series with Cree Summer when I was 13. She was the bad cat. She was Catnip in Hello Kitty. And as soon as I saw Foxy, I'm like, that's Cree Summer. And they said, no, her audition wasn't really good. I'm like, what? I said, play me that. And her audition was like Elmira. Like it was like a little girl. And like her agents told her the wrong thing. You need to bring her back. And so they saw her again, and they gave her the right direction. Like, that's Foxy Love. So Cree's very grateful.
My son would love it if you could do a little conversation between Twilight Sparkle and Raven.
Twilight Sparkle and Raven. Dear Princess Celestia, today I met a really cool girl with magical powers just like me. Do you want to write a letter with me to Princess Celestia?
No.
You're joking, right?
Whatever.
Okay, maybe she can come back later when she's not so cranky. Your famous student, Twilight Sparkle.
Yes! My gosh, those were some amazing shoes to fill. A lot of pressure. And also, at the first session, they told me we don't want you to do an impression of her. And I thought, that's crazy, because the fans love her for her voice as well as her drawing. And they said, we just want you to tweak it a little and make it your own. We want your Harley. So, of course, I was so nervous that the fans were like, doesn't sound exactly like her. Or, that because Arlene's so lovable that they wouldn't take to her. So I was very nervous about it. And I also love Arlene, and when I found out she was not doing the games, I was, obviously very surprised and very nervous about how that would come out, so yes. And I'm very happy that people still love her.
Is there any famous role that you ever tried for but didn't get? And if so, can you give us a demonstration of what you would have made it sound like?
No, I get everything I want.
Just kidding, but I'm not telling you. No.
Either one.
Okay. Out of all the creative Brony content that has been generated to date, what really stands out most for you?
Well, I will say in general, the art is amazing. The Brony community is such an incredible talent of artists. And also so generous with their art. Like, I'll make a joke on Twitter, like, Twilight Park sparkles, and in an instant it's drawn for me. And of course, whenever they do OCs for me, like for me or for Kiki or for my girlfriend Jen Bricker, who's in a wheelchair, did you guys see that art? It was amazing. I mean, the girl was born without legs, and they drew her. She's so cute. And the music is amazing. I love Living Tombstone. It was so fun to meet him at BronyCon. I don't know, it's all amazing, except for some of it on the internet. It's scary. But you know what? That stuff exists in every show I do. So, it's not new, it's just a little more colorful. Okay, the one beside you.
How's your ego inflated at all with all this fan art? From all your roles?
That's such a silly question to me. I could go so many ways with that and make it funny. But the truth is, like I said, I always knew that that's what I wanted to do. It was in me to be an actress. And I always knew that the lady painting my toes is just as important person as a director. And I never treated people I just think I'm so lucky to have this gift. And people that have met me know that I'm not... They're, people are like, wow, you're so nice. I'm just like, I don't understand it, because I've had people that have changed through their fandom, and it's disappointing, because you're people, and people that got lucky. I think that acting is a lot of timing, and right time, right place, and so, no, I haven't changed. And maybe I buy myself nicer things. Not really.
Do you still enjoy having fun with some of your favorite roles?
Sure.
Anyone?
Behind you.
Yeah. I have to give you something. That's like a gift. So I was wondering if you could pull up
Bring that up here. Gosh.
Another question while she's let's see.
You ruined everything.
Just kidding. I love Twitter. So much fun.
I love Vine too. You guys follow me on Vine? Anybody see that Mark Hamill Vine? You drew that? Oh, your sister. Wow. Wow, that's so good. I wish you guys could see it, but it's basically all my characters on the necklace.
Cookie? Oh, it's a cookie.
Oh, she's got a request too. There you go.
Thank you. Where's my present?
Where's my brony army? Just teasing. Thank you. Bye. Get me a diamond or something.
Yeah, I know you're very emotionally attached to your characters, and you think a lot like them, of course. But to what extent does that go? Like, if you're doing a scene where they get hurt, do you feel that kind of pain? Or if they have a triumphant scene, do you go home at the end of the day thinking, haha, I get that guy fun?
So the question was, do I feel like physically connected to the characters or emotionally? Sometimes. I mean, there were moments in Arkham City where I cried. That would be a spoiler, but I did. So yeah, sometimes it affects me emotionally. Not physically, thank goodness, because I'd be dead a million times over by now, but yes.
I'm the tummy and Ted. Did you know that? I love you.
No, you didn't see that?
Yes.
I do a lot of dolls that you might not know. Like dolls that my kids hate because I buy them all and then they're in our house. Mom, your voice is so creepy in that doll. You don't like that. It's funny because I'd say I do a lot of voices that y'all don't know, but y'all know more than I do typically. So probably, I don't know. No, probably not.
Would you ever be interested in doing South Park?
I would, but they don't, I think it's still a non-union show. They don't hire union performers, and I can't do that because I work a lot. I can't give up my gigs for one. Stop it.
I'm pretty sure you got Lauren Falston onto Twitter, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
I forced her.
Can you tell us the story of how that happened?
First she said no, and then I didn't shut up.
I think I convinced her in a way that it's so, for me, I feel like the voiceover actors before Facebook and Twitter didn't know how the fans felt about them, and it's so rewarding on Twitter to feel all that love, and I said to her, it's nice to give back and like interact with your fans, and you know, they love you so much, it's nice to do that, and then I didn't stop bothering her, and then I actually took her phone. We were in the backseat of a car at BronyCon, and I took her phone and made her a Twitter account. Because if she says no, I'll just do it for her. Yeah, I like to force people to do things they don't want to do.
How has it been, or how often do you come back to Canada?
It's been 5 years since I've been home. Wow. Yeah, it's too long, really.
Did you miss it?
Yeah, it's weird, because it doesn't feel like home in certain ways anymore, because I've been living in LA for 20 years. It's a long time. It's weird. I mean, it's still my home, because it's where I was born and raised, but, you know, I went to my home on Friday with my kids when I arrived, and it was just so weird. It's like, I grew up here? It's so weird. I don't know, there's something weird about that. Just weird. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, what? Oh, 5 minutes. You don't have a question. I'm saying 5 minutes. You little girl. There's only one little girl. It's you. Now she's shy. Does she want to talk?
I'm her mom, and I just want to say as a mom that I really appreciate Twilight Sparkle
Oh.
as a role model for kids. Like, she's going to watch a show over and over, day in and day out. Yeah. This one is teaching her really good lessons.
Oh, do you like the show? What's her name?
Oh, she's so shy. Dear Princess Celestia, today I saw Julie. She's really cute. A little shy. We should be friends. Come to Ponyville. Oh, so cute.
There's 5 minutes left.
You never got into business or tech business? What else were you doing?
Oh, if I never got into voice acting, probably something with animals. I love animals. It's like my dream to have like some big giant sanctuary with like 1 million animals. And then I could give them all voices.
If doing an actual episode with everyone in the room, what's the most hilarious thing that's happened off topic from the actual script?
Oh my god. There's another one that I can't tell. Well, it's just fun to play off the other actors. There was one, I wish I could tell this story. If there was no kids in the room, I would. Sometimes we get into crazy laughing fits where we can't stop, and time is expensive in the studio, so when they want you to stop laughing, it makes you laugh even more, especially if they get mad. That's hilarious. So there's been some moments like that where we just laugh a lot and can't stop. And there was one particular episode of Transformers, and the director kept saying things without realizing that had certain innuendos. And it was like every time she gave a direction, we'd be like, can you just fudge a happy kid? What? Like, she just wanted someone to come in and say a line, or she wanted like to pull on a rope, and she's like, could you just give me a quick yank? Every single direction came out like that. And there were a few more that get worse. And we were crying by the end, and the director still didn't realize she was doing that. So finally we told her everything she was doing. She's like, oh my god. That was kind of funny.
Talk about that when there's not cameras rolling another time.
Yes, you have a question?
If you had to choose between...
He's so funny. Get it later.
Who has a really important question? Yes?
Have you, and would you ever do voice in any kind of movie?
Of course, I love Adventure Time. I would love that. Anyone seen me on Bravest Warriors? That's fun too. That's why the same dudes. I would love to do Adventure Time. Because my kids love Adventure Time too. It's always fun when I do shows that they like. They love watching me on Family Guy, and they like picking out their voices on Mad. They like that.
Who hasn't had a question yet? You.
What impressions do you like to do of characters like Don?
Well, my best impression is Rosie Perez, who is not a character, she's a person. Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
Sometimes when you win, you actually lose. And sometimes when you lose, you actually win. And sometimes when you tie, you actually win or lose. Bully, you're so stupid. You should have said I love you on Infinity plus Infinity.
and it's another 10-year-old boy. It's like, how many 10-year-old boys can I do? I know that came out wrong. Nobody think of me with that.
Already done.
Too late! It's already out there. It's already a meme. It's already on YouTube.
Who has not asked a question about 10-year-old boys yet?
At the panel on Thursday, Andrea Libman said that you were Lauren Faust's first choice for Pinkie Pie. How different do you think things would be if that had been what occurred?
I'd have been a lot more tired after such. You know, she came to my house and pitched the show to me and asked if I had played with ponies as a child. And actually on Friday, I went home and I found my ponies. Yeah. So, I did. And she asked me to voice Pinkie and Twily, and I think it was Fluttershy or Rainbow Dash for her pitch. And of course, Pinkie Pie is so much like Bubbles that she just assumed that would happen, but once she heard Twilight, she was like, that's my Twily. So it's such a commanding role that it was smart of them to pass off the other roles, and Andrea was like, I can't even imagine it not being her. She does such a fantastic job. I mean, I would have been great too, but...
Wrap it up. This means wrap it up. Okay, you with the...
Is that... I don't know what that is. Yeah.
I don't know. Yes. Don't ask those questions. I don't know. Yes, you. I don't know. I'm sorry. No. Yeah.
What was your reaction when you found out Twilight was going to be an album?
Oh, what did you think about that? He thought it was awesome! So did I know it's scary, but because we haven't changed our acting at all, I think it's because it's kind of adorkable how she's like learning how to do things now. It's fine because all the characters are the same and it's something new and interesting and it's fine with me.
It's fine. Nice checkered shirt feeling. Yes. I see a hand up in the back.
Will you be selling autographs again after this?
No, because the con ends at 5. Oh, sorry.
You missed it, buddy.
Yeah.
Yes. Like when there's 1,000 death screens. Typically video games. Final Fantasy was not because I don't like that job, but when I came in, the scripts were like storyboards and like to learn alphabet, and that was a lot of. I was happy to be done just because it was so much work. And when something's that much work, when you're a conscientious actor, you want to give every line your all so that people are drawn to it. So that was good to like phew, did that all amazing. Thank you.
What's it like meeting the other My Little Pony actors every now and again?
We love each other so much. It's nice to meet the other actors. I've not really ever met a voice actor that I didn't like, but the girls on My Little Pony are extraordinary. So that's always fun to do a con with them. Yep.
Hello Kitty. That was my first series.
Who's your favorite singer or musical group? And if Twilight Sparkle were to come into this world, what do you think we're
So many choices.
So many choices.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry I'm putting this on you.
No, I refuse to answer that question. Yeah. Only because I don't know.
I was asking, I love all your work, but how do you deal with criticism of one job to another job? Like a lot of friends that I know, they don't really watch My Little Ponies and they say a lot of things. I'm like, it's okay. So how do you deal with that when you go out?
I typically ignore anything negative I see on Twitter. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you don't go, hey, you know, put the phone away. Because I think everyone's like they think they're so powerful behind their computer, and I don't like anything mean towards any fandom or myself, so I try to ignore that. I despise any kind of bullying or anything like that, so I try to ignore it, but if someone doesn't like something, I don't force them. You must like My Little Pony. No. You know, everyone likes what they want to like. We have to be done. Wait, before we're done, can I videotape everybody singing happy birthday to Aiden? Yeah. Aiden, stand up. Stand up on your chair, son.
All right.
Ready?
Quite